Hey guys, I've got another action figure review for you today, and this time we're going to take a look at the DC Universe Classics Creeper. He is from Wave 16 of the DC Universe Classics, released in February of 2011. This was the Collect and Connect Bane wave, which is pretty cool. This is actually my boyfriend's figure. I bought it for him, so it's at my house right now, and I figured I would just review it while I had it here. And because I also need to fix him up, as I'll show you, he's got some issues, so I wanted to just show those on camera before I went and did my thing. But yeah, so I actually grabbed him recently from ToysRUs.com when I mentioned the sale was going on for the DC figures. So he was like $7.50 plus a little bit of tax, but free 2-day shipping from ShopRunner. And so that's like the best price I've seen from new in box. We had actually gone shopping that day at a local comic shop, and they had him for 20. And my boyfriend was like, "Oh, cool, Creeper! Like that's cool." And I was like, "Wait, $20? Like that seems like a lot." So he didn't grab him, and then I found him on sale that night. And I was like, "Awesome!" So I guess I'll grab him for him, and I did. So definitely a good price. He goes for like 6 to 15 or so loose, and then more like 13 to 20-ish in box on like Amazon, eBay, stuff like that. Yeah, so let me just show you the box. DC Universe Classics packaging, of course. So it's the Creeper, Wave 16 figure 2. And then the back has, all that good stuff. The rest of the wave. Pretty interesting wave, pretty interesting mix of characters, and of course Bane, pretty cool, indeed. Statistics, biography, you could attempt to read that on the pause if you would like. And then an image of the figure. So pretty cool. And I'm going to show you the Bane, Collect and Connect piece for Bane. It's, just an arm. But definitely looks cool from, it's got the glove with the glossy black and then the finger pieces and all that. So I don't know if we'll be trying to build this one. I mean, there's definitely some good figures in there, so we'll see. But yeah, so let's take a look at Creeper. He's really interesting for DC Universe Classics. The thing about DCUC figures is that a lot of them use the very same body mold, like constantly over and over again, and they just kind of resculpt parts over it, or new head sculpts. But this one is a unique body mold I haven't seen yet. It's really tall and skinny. I'm gonna compare it for you. Well, the closest figure I have right now in reach is OMAC, which I haven't reviewed yet. I will be shortly, but actually, I may have reviewed it by now. I'm not sure what order I'm going to put these reviews up. I'm kind of filming a bunch at once today, so excuse me if I'm wrong. I may have already reviewed OMAC. But let me just, kind of stand them side by side for you to show their body molds. It's kind of strange to look at OMAC because he's got the big mohawk that kind of is, throws you off. But you can see, like, he's obviously shorter and definitely wider in the chest. And even in the legs, his legs are a bit wider. So, you can see just like his waist comes in more, and Creeper's kind of all just like one width. So, definitely interesting body mold on Creeper that I haven't seen. But yeah, he's a pretty cool figure. He's just, cast in this all yellow plastic. And then painted, obviously little bits are painted and sculpted. Take a look at the head sculpt. You see here he's got like a green speck on his cheek. That's one of the problems with the figure. Might try and just kind of chip it off. It looks like it might be able to be chipped off, not sure, but if not, paint over it with some yellow. And yeah, so, but a nice sculpt, really, kind of creepy looking face. Great hair, which is green with some black shading. But yeah, really nice. And then the furry looking cape is, it's not, I mean, it doesn't really look furry because it is a giant hunk of rubber, But, it's interesting. It's interesting. We actually saw a DC Direct Creeper figure the same day we were in the comic shop, and that one actually had a furry cape, furry, like, pieces, and it was pretty cool looking. But, yeah, this is interesting. And it also is pretty heavy, so it kind of weighs it down in the back, and I'll show you, he has a really loose ab crunch, another problem. So that doesn't help him much, but, yeah. So the gloves, red with this black, like, I guess this is supposed to be like it's kind of matching the cape in texture, but black, and then painted on briefs in green with the black stripes. Pretty clean paintwork there. A little bit of black stripes going over onto the leg here. A little bit of bleeding as always with a lot of DC figure lines. And then a boot. The boots match the gloves. Really nice. So yeah, let me just show you what I mean with this guy being, what's wrong with him. Sorry, just give me another shot of the cape. So like I said, he has a really loose ab crunch. Like, this is all his abs. This is not like his legs. He is just moving from the ab with me shaking him. So that makes it difficult to pose because he starts falling back like this, or he falls forward, and it just he doesn't balance his weight out. So I'm gonna have to see if the super glue fix will help him out there. Shoot some in there and just see if it tightens it up. And then other than that, other than the paint on the face and the loose ab crunch, he's also got warped legs. Let me see if I can just kind of show you that. I don't know if you can really see it, but like look at his feet. Like, his legs are in right now. The thigh cuts are lined up, and yet his right foot is like pointing out. His right toe is like pointing out. His left one is like curved back and coming forward. It's just not a pretty sight. So that also doesn't help him stand, but I'm gonna dunk him in some hot water. Yeah, like, look at this knee here. I don't know if you can see that it's not really lined up. It should be, like, I don't know. It's a little just like twisted up. So I'm gonna dunk him in hot water and see if that helps any, but it's interesting because I got this guy and the OMAC figure that I just showed you a little while ago, both from Toys R Us. And you'll see, or you have seen by now, that OMAC is pretty beat up as well. And I'm starting to wonder, does Toys R Us just get like reject figures? It's kind of really strange to me, but yeah. So I'm gonna try fixing both of them up as much as I can. But yeah, otherwise he's he's a pretty cool figure, and I'll show you some articulation now. You know, the head has a lot of motion. Pretty decent. It doesn't go very far up. I mean, this is, that's about it. But down is good, and then around. It doesn't go all the way around because of his cape thing, feathery thing, furry, whatever. But, enough side to side to give you the kind of dynamic poses you would want. And then typical ball disc shoulders. Again, can't go all the way around because of the cape thing. But you have a bicep swivel. And you have double jointed elbows. Go Mattel. No swivel at the glove, but you do have a swivel and a hinge. Sorry. At the wrist. The hinge is not the best, and I don't want to like break his hand off, so I'm not going to force it, but yeah. It goes in, it does not go out. Oh, maybe it does go out. I'm not going to push it. But yeah, it does swivel, all that jazz. Again, ab crunch, wee, nice and loose. Waist swivel, which is nice and tight, on the contrary. The Mattel legs. Look at them little legs. Woo! And he just like flipped over because of his loose ab crunch, so and his heavy cape. Anyway, he has a cut above the knee. Double jointed knees. Ooh, they don't particularly bend very well, and I think it's because of the boot kind of goes right into the back of his knee, so he doesn't really get much out of that second knee joint, unfortunately. But go Mattel nonetheless. And an ankle joint that doesn't have much motion at all. So again, and since there's no cut at the boot or shin, it's another difficulty in posing him. But yeah, I just want to note here the double joints. Mattel, I have a feeling they don't like. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea why they choose not to use them most of the time. I have to say, when they do use them, I like the way they look. I feel like they do this a little bit differently than Hasbro does with the Marvel Legends, where they have like a more seamless look, even though they have seams, where they have this cap that looks more like it blends in with the rest of the knee, but at the same time, the elbow. But at the same time, I feel like theirs don't function as well, and maybe that's why they don't really use them. They feel like their figures don't benefit from them, from the joints. But you know, I feel like they should just work on it and get them into the figures more, because people like double joints. You know, having more articulation is, if it's done right, it's great. So I mean, I don't know. We'll see, I guess. But yeah, so he's a pretty cool figure. I mean, pretty cool looking. I need to see if I can. I should be able to tighten up his ab crunch with some super glue, and then maybe straighten out his leg with hot water, and that should be good enough. You know, good enough. He was cheap, so it's not, you know, he's fine. He stands like straight. He doesn't really get in some crazy poses, but otherwise pretty good. So yeah, guys, I mean, that was a DC Universe Classics Wave 16 Creeper figure. I hope you liked this review, and I will see you next time. Thank you as always for watching, guys. Bye.